Hello and welcome. November 24th. We are a day away from Thanksgiving, everybody. We got 3 football games tomorrow. It's going to be a great show. Looking at the bets, we'll have hopefully Big Amo on. We'll be going live just like we are now. I can't promise the time. Could be now, could be later, could be earlier. I imagine it'll be pretty close to our normal time slot with Big Amo. And it'll be a lot of fun. The live streams are fun. We'll see how it breaks down. I don't really edit too much when Big Amo and I are on there anyway. So, but today is a Wednesday, and that means it's all about the Fantasy Football Sevens review. If you don't know, that's just like the format and the 16-team format and a point system and a schedule that I completely customized. And it's just so much fun. It just creates so much rivalries. We are going back into division week. So the way the schedule is set up, your first 3 weeks, 4 teams, 16 teams, 4 teams of 4 divisions. And your first 3 weeks are against your division, 1, 2, 3. And then your last 3 weeks coming up. So we're on 12, 13, 14. So 12 will be the team you played in week 3, 13 the team you played in week 2, and 14 the team you played in week 1. So that's kind of the beauty of the schedule. We're back in division play, and we're going to be reviewing everything for week 11. It's the rewind day, Fantasy Football Sevens Rewind. I'm really proud of this format. It's a lot of fun. It's fun to me to look at the conferences and the divisions and the leagues and see how everything's breaking down, seeing how the points are flowing, seeing how records are flowing. There's certain divisions out there. There's like 2 teams are already locked into the playoffs. And then there's certain teams out there with so many points. And then there's certain divisions that they're all separated by 2 games. And I just kind of think that's cool. But let's get into it. These are the top performances of the week. Based off of Fantasy Football Sevens. So starting off with quarterback, and it's every position, man. We got quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, kicker, defense, defensive lineman, linebacker, and defensive back. So we have 9 positions that we cover, and it's a lot of fun. Justin Herbert lit it up with 46.28 points. It's really pretty cool. It's awesome to see it. He's been up there multiple times. No doubt about it, the best running back of the week. 54.90 points. Jonathan Taylor, man, behind 5 touchdowns. I don't know why anybody doubted this guy. He seems pretty legit to me. Too legit to quit if you got him. And I have him in so many best ball leagues. It's ridiculous. I was just like JT, like up until like the line got hurt. And then I backed off, but then other people did, and he started falling off into the second round even deeper. I was like, oh, JT. So I'm so happy when he goes off. Justin Jefferson, I hope you guys followed the bet. I told you to take his over. He got 36.20 points in the Fantasy Football Sevens format. And then we have Zach Ertz coming in with the best tight end score at 24.8. Actually, a really high tight end score. As you can tell, still lower than the rest of the offense. And that's why a tight end is a flex. You don't have to play a tight end in the Fantasy Football Sevens format. All right. It's pretty fun, but not necessary. Okay. And then we have kicker, Jay Elliott out of the Eagles, man. And Zach Ertz, don't forget that was for the Cardinals, people, in case you didn't think about that. 25.5 points for Mr. Elliott on the Eagles squad. Great game for him. That's an excellent game. He scored more than Zach Ertz, the tight end. The leading scorer, let me tell you something when this happens, 76.14 points. Pretty sure that's the highest score of the season. The New England Patriots made a living off of Matt Ryan. This is the second week in a row that the defense that has played the Falcons has been the highest scoring position. All right. First it was the Cowboys, then it was the Patriots. 76.14 points. When you pitch a shutout, you get like 50 points because they just don't happen that much. Patriots aren't probably going to have another shutout the rest of the year. By the way, their point differential is like plus 133. Crazy, the Patriots. But people are feasting on the Falcons, you defensive streamers. Feasting on the Falcons, so don't forget it. We got a twofer here. 47.25 for the defensive lineman was Nick Van Noy. For the linebacker, because this is on Sleeper, and it's a worldwide charity league format, and it's pretty awesome. And I really appreciate Sleeper for allowing us to be able to do something worldwide. Next year we're going to do something even more. But it was I put Nick Van Noy, and it was Kyle Van Noy. I don't know why I did that. I'll have to fix that. But yeah, it was Kyle Van Noy, 47.25 points. A defensive back is 30.42 points, and that was Desmond King. Was stud a long time ago. About 3 or 4 years ago, he was the leading defensive back, and he just kind of went back on the depth roster, went to Houston, he's having a pretty great season. And anytime you get a DB to like get you a lot of points, that's always great, man. So there you have it. They're the top performances of the week. And when we get to it, we're going to look at also the league to see how people did across the leagues. And it was a lot of fun. First off, let's review the game of the week winners and the highest score per league or conference, however you want to say it. The LIDA conference, game of the week winner, Fantasy Football Hustler beat my guy TD. It was an epic battle, and Fantasy Football Hustler is putting up the points. He's on a row lately. I think he's won 3 or 4 in a row. And the second place gets in purely by points, which he is the leader of in his division. So keep it up. The highest score, though, was also in his division, and that was Past the Herb, my man Cernomial. He had 267.71 points. He's still sitting in first with me, and I give him the default for being new to the league. So he is sitting at number 1 overall, and 10-1, man. That is the best record. Tied for the best record. There should be 3 or 4 of us out of 48 that have a 10-1 record. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. In the Moolah, point races is close. The highest point, we'll just save that one for the end. Rey Mysterio division, though, in the LIDA conference, it is the best. And it's Past the Herb is in it. Fantasy Football Hustlers in it. Only Sandro is in it. And then so is my old roommate, not my old roommate, Phil Swain's in it too, and out of the UK, and they all have over 2,000 points. They all like 3, it's like 8 wins, 9 wins, 10 wins, and then Alex at 5 and 6 with the Fantasy Football Hustler, but he has the most points. So super competitive. It is the best division, I'm telling you, in all of the Fantasy Football Sevens format. It's really cool. Okay, let's take a look right here now. All right, let's see. Moving it on to the Moolah Conference, a very competitive conference. So tight in this league or this conference. No division leaders have more than 1 game. Like, there's no more than 1 game cushion. The division leader has somebody immediately 1 game behind them, and we're coming into division play where your next 3 games are going to be against your division, and you can win the division to win. So tight in the Moolah Conference. There's no telling who's going to come out of there points or division-wise. But for the game of the week winner, we have Team Hammer 86. Shout out to MC out there in New Mexico. Awesome game of the win. For the highest score, and it was a battle. It was a big battle. Fernando Timbo needed to put up points, and my man did it. Representing Brazil, he got 270.58 points. Way to go, way to go, way to go. And then, like I said, it's just so tight. It's hard to get a read on who's going to come in first in the division, which once you're in first in the division, your points, they're out. Now it's the other 3, and it's so tight between all of those 3. It is difficult to tell, like, in the aspect who's going to be coming out of the playoff race right there. So we'll just have to see how that happens. In the China Conference, though, the game of the week winner, my man Ryan out in Hawaii. What's up, brother? Incubus Army holding it down, dominating the conference, dominating our league of record, just having his typical I'm way better at you than fantasy, even though I don't have an RB2 or 3, although Jones stepped it up for you and really got you that win. So you do have an RB2. But, he's just dominating, man, just dominating it. And he won the game of the week against Queen Roxanne, putting himself 1 step closer to securing a playoff spot, but he's pretty much there. The best scorer, man, Valerio Customs, 284.69, good enough for first in all of the Fantasy Football Sevens Charity League. That's amazing. He's had that now 2 weeks in a row. He had the highest score in the China Conference the week before, and now he has the highest score again. His record was down. Now he's only 1 game out of the division first, and he has the most points in the division. But that's how you do it. That's how you make a late season push and make sure you're getting your pieces lined up to get into the playoffs. Because if you don't get into the playoffs, you can plan all you want for 15 and 16 and 17, but you got to get there, man. And I'm a big proponent of preparing for week 15 as if you're going to be there. But when you're down and out and you're having like a rough start, you got to do what my man Valerio Customs did and get on this hot roll, put himself right back in the driver's seat to either take the division or take the points. We'll have to see how it all kind of shakes out. In the China division, though, The last unbeaten one, Jabroni Beaters, man. He is now 10-1, lost to a division leader and Bobcats baby, so it was not like he lost to a slouch. But he even called it. He even said, "I might lose this week. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. I had to replace some key guys." So he called it, but by default, if you make it that long, you get the asterisk to me for having the longest lead, 10-1. Once it all shakes out, now if we all finish with one loss, there's about, like I said, 4 of us, then we'll go to the points to crown our regular season champion. It's very difficult to do in a 48-team format to have the best regular season. That is worth a little bit of an honor and a little bit of a mention as well, in my opinion. All right, let's get down to the top 3 points for each conference, right? So the leader of all conferences, and we're going to look at the points to see who is leading the way. Coming in leading the conference with 2,436.36. Talking about my man Ryan, Incubus Army. I told you he's dominating. He has the most points in the conference. He has the best record, or he's tied with his 2 divisions. Who has the best? And he's just dominating, man. 2,436.36 though is the third out of the best of the top 3. Coming in at 2,449.52, fresh off a loss. Talking about my man Murph in the 5-yard rush. He's at like I said, 22,449.52. So just edging out Ryan, but it is a good difference, about 13 points. And that's good enough for second in the very tight Moonlaw Conference. As long as you get the most points, you're going to be in the playoffs too. So that's kind of nice, right? No matter if you won your division or not. And then leading the Lita Conference and with the most points in all of fantasy football sevens, we're talking Big Amo, and he's going to be back, man. He's the best in the business for a reason. He dominates fantasy. He dominates betting. He has 2,507.18 points, man. Good job, Big Amo. That's the way to do it, my man. It's good stuff there. Let's take a look, kind of looking ahead. We'll go to look at some of these matches now into week 12. There's going to be some good games of the weeks coming. Starting with the Lita Conference, we have a good one in Kieran versus JJ UFC. All 3 of these teams flyer on the wall. They're all battling for a good second playoff spot, separated by like 100 points. So got to do that. Rikishi Rushers, like I said, Phil, Double L Phil, and I don't know IDP SOS. He's at 8-3, so I think he knew a little bit about the possibility of having what the IDP world might be like. And then, of course, my man Nick over there as well. Those guys holding up the Eagle show. They're 7-4, 8-3, looking to cruise through the division. Big Amo and Ben Rolfe, man, that is a battle, because now you're looking at number 1 versus number 2 in the division, squaring it off. I believe Ben has the second most points. Barely. He's got like 100 and some change over TD. So if Big Amo, Ben Rolfe, how this shakes out, whoever wins, we got to go look. If they finish tied for the season, we go look at the charity league chart. That's the beauty of this setup. Who won head-to-head? Oh, we split. Who had the most division wins? Oh, we each had 3 apiece, 3-3 in the division. How did the conference go? Oh, I won 3, he won 2. Tiebreaker settled, my friends. It's part of the beauty of the schedule, depending on how you set it up. But 1 versus 2 in the division on the turn, that's going to be a nice game in the Lita Conference. And then, my God, the Rey Mysterio division. Y'all are all just going to have to bang each other up. I don't know how, because the truth is, Phil's 9-2, Pass the Herb is 10-1, and only Sandro's 8-3, right? So anybody can take that division as far as that goes. Alex is 5-6, but he has the most points in the division, so he's just playing the point game. I just need the most points. And he's playing Phil this week, 9-2. They're separated by 10 points. Pass the Herb is playing only Sandro, so 10-1 versus 8-3. That is going to be a big game. If Ceremonial wins that game and goes to 11-1, Sandro goes to 8-4. Sandro can no longer get the division. He would have to get in by points. However, Sandro wins and goes to 9-3, and Pass the Herb goes to 10-2. Phil goes, let's say Phil loses by some reason, 9-3. Now we got a 1-game race for the division. That whole division is crazy. I'm just pumped to watch it all go down because, like I said, the divisions are there. The highest point scorer is FF Hustler, 2,317.04. The lowest is Sandro Ordonis at 2001 70.93. So, that's hardly anything. You're talking 130. That would put it 147 points separating worst to first, and a very tight division where if they were in other divisions, they would have probably a division lead. Some good ones. That's going to be hard for me to pick the game of the week. It's kind of hard to go against 1 versus 2 in the division, but I just have to give it to one of the Rey Mysterio guys when we get down to it. I think Big Almo's already had 2 because he's been doing so well. But a lot of these other guys have 2. May have to give it to Sandra. He's only had 1. We'll see. Moving right along, though, moving to the China Conference, taking a look at some of these matchups. It's going to be a beautiful one. We have Liam versus Jonestown Massacre. I think that's division leader. Or let's see. Oh, yeah, the backups, all Chase and Ryan. And you guys are at 2,215. Jared's at 1,980. And Liam's at 2,201. Oh, my gosh, how is this not going to be the game of the week? You guys are separated by 14 points and going for the wild card spot. Liam versus Sammy. Man, that's a good matchup. We got Jared Gray versus Joe Exotic, 9-2. We'll have to see how that goes. Queen Roxanne's going to have to make a push to get the division. I'm bringing Hasselback. He is sitting in first at the moment. So a win here would go a long way for Queen Roxanne. See if she can get a bounce back game against. But I'm bringing Hasselback. Gary's been, he's been doing it. So shout out to that. Adam Colbebe versus Sports Liddell in the division, trying to get that point battle. Everybody's within 1.2 games. So you guys are separated by 1. That division's still up for grabs, so we'll have to see how that goes. Bobcats Baby trying to just make sure he can hold off British NFFL, who's on a late push. He's 6-5 and has the division lead. Valerio Customs, like I said, in a pretty awesome one against the New Age Outlaws here. If New Age Outlaws puts up some points right there, that could make that division kind of topsy-turvy on what's going to happen. Then we have Tyler 250R versus my man Team Trout Coast. 0-11. There's a few 0-11 teams. No big deal, my man. But Tyler, you really need to get up on that point category, and you're also only, you are pretty much eliminated. You are eliminated from winning the division, but you do have the second most points, Tyler. So you just got to outduel B. Smitty, and B. Smitty, you're playing the Jabroni Beaters. You still have a chance to get the division. You win this one, you're 2 games back with 2 games to go, and you can maybe catch him, all right? So a lot of implications on that one. Let's get to the freaking crazy Moolah division conference, where everybody's battling. Look at this. We got a 7-4 versus 6-5, 6-5 versus 6-5, 4-7 versus a 5-6, 6-5, 2-9, 8-3 versus a 7-4, 5-6 versus a 7-4, 5-6 versus a 7-4, and a 3-8 versus a 4-7. To wrap it up, basically, it's all these games are going to be important going forward. NATO versus the Tooth. You guys are 1-2 in the division. Point wise, it's all pretty tight. Cooper's coming for it. Cooper's dad actually is the second high end score leader. So Pike, as of the moment, you are in, my friend, in the playoffs with the Tooth. Somebody's going to have to come out of that New England. NATO, it's also tight, 1 game apart. My goodness gracious. I don't know what's happened there, but that's going to be a tight one. 10 Man versus Team Folio. How is that not going to be an instant rivalry at 6-5, 6-5? Battle of the division, both sitting in second place, a game away from Venez. That's tough, man. Cooper's dad versus Duck. Cooper's dad, you just need to keep getting the points, man. You keep getting on Pike, you're in. That's just all there is to it. Team Hammer sitting in second place behind 5-yard rush Murph, only by a game, but she's trailing Tyboski by 36 points for the playoff spot. So you go get that division lead, MC. Don't mess around. How about this? 8-3 versus 7-4. I'm talking the division leader of the Ultimate Warrior, Fernando Timbo, playing against WJ Schuler at 7-4. These guys are separated by a mere 23 points. A mere 23 points separates these two from division lead and wild card spot. That's a possible Week 15 preview right there. That could be a playoff game match. So you guys just be prepared. Don't show too much of your hand. And then how can I not root for my guy Richard, man? He's playing against Team Venez. Richard has lost some heartbreakers lately. I bet his combined losses in the past 3 weeks is less than 30 points. It's crazy. But he is sitting with 2,233 points. It's a little bit behind Tin Man. So he needs to take Vanez out of the leader spot. If Tin Man can overtake Vanez or Folio, that's such a huge game. My gosh, this division's crazy. If Richard wins, the winner of Tin Man and Folio will have a tie for first. It could be a three-way tie for first with Richard one game behind and all the points. Folio, you got to hurry up and get in that division race because you're a couple hundred points behind Tin Man and Richard in the point race. Don't be scared. Go get that division lead and don't worry about the points. And then just wrapping it up, Tyboski versus 5-yard rush, man. As of right now, you two are in the playoffs. Could be a potential playoff match. Murph is on fire, leading point scorer, but you never doubt Tyboski. Never doubt Tyboski, man. And like I said, 2,100 points. He just needs to keep that point total up, get it up, and he still has it. And then Team Stina versus Team Greg. They are in the Ultimate Warrior division. Pretty much both of you are out of the division play, but in play for maybe a possible wild card run, even though it does look like it would take a lot of work. All right, everybody, that's going to settle it for today. I really appreciate you being on the show. I really appreciate being a part of Fantasy Football Sevens. I hope you do as well. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Not taking a day off, recording the show, doing the Thanksgiving show with Big Almo. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tune in. We're going to be talking a lot of betting. All right, guys, have a great day. Check out Iggy's Fantasy and Betting so you can listen to the show. But sign up for Super Draft. Doesn't matter where you live. All 50 states. Legal sports betting for all of you. Just sign a subscription. You click on the tab. You're ready to go. DFS every day for free with cash money prizes. Go check it out, man. And I'll holler at you guys later. Peace.